All right, what is up, y'all? So I am coming at you from Utah. Arnica and I are up here. Arnica accepted a job in Northern Salt Lake. First of all, this is not the point of the video. I'm just giving you a little update. Arnica accepted a job in Northern Salt Lake, pays a lot better, a very great work atmosphere. And I'm staying with her parents up in Bern, which is about 3 hours from here. She's staying with her sister here. And on the weekends, we get together, whether she comes up there or I come down here and we're looking for houses. And we've always wanted to move closer to her family and a place that was, we had this ability to be much self-reliant, access to water, the ability to raise chickens for eggs and have our own garden. And that's the direction that we're moving. So wish us luck. We are on that transition. But that is not the point of my video today. By the way, I am going to document all that too for you guys, so that you can learn from what I'm doing and do it yourself. And we have a podcast coming up here really soon with a regenerative agriculture expert. I'm so excited. I talked to him on the phone yesterday. I'm so thankful that he's given us his time, and he's talking about like what we can do at the consumer level and at the individual level when I move in this direction. Okay, so anyway, that's not the point of the video here. The point of this video is I want you to watch this other video by Dr. Mercola. Now, if you're not familiar with Dr. Mercola is one of the first websites or practitioners that we were recommended to follow in a lot of our holistic and ancestral health schooling. He has the most popular health website of all time, millions of visits every month. Definitely in the holistic and alternative realm. He's a classically trained physician. He's been practicing for over 25 years. And you know that he's doing things right because he has been banned everywhere. Like you cannot find him on Google search. You have to go directly to his site or use something like Brave browser. He has been banned on Twitter. He's been banned on most social media platforms. It's very hard to find him on Facebook. From what I hear, I don't know. I haven't looked for him because I'm not on Facebook that much. And his YouTube videos have all been taken down. Some of his interviews with other people. Anyway, but he's legit. There's rarely things that he puts out that I don't fully agree with. So I'm just going to give you an overview of what he goes through as a teaser because I want you to watch this video. I think it's so great, right? It talks about the history of medicine, how in 1910 the Rockefellers and Rothschilds started this campaign to smear natural medicine quacks, all right, and put them out of business and transition medical doctors to medical schooling, which, as we know, pretty much indoctrinates medical doctors into this methodology of you learn a lot about disease, but then you also learn the suite of drugs that you need to treat these different diseases and different combinations of those drugs, right? There's no schooling in healing, in root cause foundation. What is the reason that we're here in the first place? And what are the lifestyle factors and nutrition things that we can do to reverse what it is that we're experiencing right now? And any doctor you talk to will agree. I got plenty of physicians that are on board with what we do, and they will readily admit that they don't receive that kind of training in med school, right? So anyway, he goes through a history of med school, of the medical system. We are the only country in the world that allows direct-to-consumer advertising. And a lot of that is pharmaceutical based because the pharmaceutical industry donates tens of billions of dollars every year to news agencies. The government gives, I think, at least $1 billion most years. And so the message that we get from these news outlets is curated in the direction of what it is that they want us to hear. So what else? A really good point. I feel like we're in light company here, right? I feel like I'm preaching to the choir in some ways. I feel like you guys don't think I'm crazy when I bring up some of these things, but most of the world is not where we're at. Most of the world is not in the know. You look around and you can see this, right? And our heart goes out to these people that we know need this information and help. But he says, some estimated somewhere around 30% of the population is completely brainwashed and completely bought into the mainstream narrative. You maybe another 30 to 50% are kind of in the middle gray area-ish, but it's really hard for them to look at the info because that means that they have to be honest with themselves and face some hard truths and make some hard changes. And then you got like this very small minority, which is what we are a part of, which is this grassroots movement of people that are in the know and empowered and moving in this direction of becoming more self-reliant with their health and other things. I love that he brings up the fact that you have to be a perpetual student. You have to perpetually learn. And one of my goals as a leader here is to, so that you don't have to do all the reading and watching and learning because you don't have time for it, is to bring you the most important, up-to-date, relevant information. So I feel like we are doing that together. We are students together, and we always will be. I will always be flexible. I will always change my stance if it needs to change. That's my commitment to you. He talks about these 7 strategies that the global elitists are using to change the world and to manipulate populations. Sounds kind of controversial, but I think you're really going to resonate with it. I love how he talks about health is simple. It's not complex. You think about what we need to do on a daily basis to be healthy. It is very easy. Eat real food according to our guidelines or whatever guidelines you want. Get some sunlight. Go to bed on time. Get up early. Work out a little bit most days. It's not that complicated. Your body wants to heal. Your body does not want to be sick. It wants to be healthy. If you give it the right inputs, there's miraculous things that can happen. And we see that happen all the time. We personally see it experientially, and we also see this happen in other people. And then he goes through these health tips. Now, these health tips, I'm telling you right now, are going to be confirmation of things that we have learned together already, but you're hearing it from someone else, you're hearing it from a doctor, you're hearing it from another expert, and I think it's really going to resonate with you. I love how he harps on the highly processed plant-based oils, and specifically linoleic acid, which is the omega-6 that is dominant in these highly processed plant-based oils, and why it's so important to get rid of these things. Just a tidbit, and I don't want to spoil the whole thing because I want you to watch it. The half-life of linoleic acid inside the body, because your body incorporates it into the cell membranes, into the tissues, the half-life of linoleic acid in the body, which means the time that it takes for half of the amount for it to dissipate from the system, is 2 years. All right? That means it takes 5 years to completely clean yourself of these toxic fats and get to a state of new natural equilibrium, okay? This is why a lot of us have such a hard time as we transition into real food. We feel better, we see a lot of great changes, but we don't see all the changes that we want. Sometimes, especially the body composition changes because it takes time. It takes time to get your body rid of these toxins and to detoxify, so you have to be extremely diligent with the things that we talk about, okay? He gives a great shout out to Dr. Robert Malone, and then he gives you just some really, really great take-home tips. So please watch this video. Questions, comments, feedback, please send them my way. You can post comments in the post associated with this. But again, questions, comments, feedback, please send it my way. And as always, keep it real on all levels, okay? Thank you.